Hi there, this is Helen Tarrant again from LA. Here with our whole team. Wow, it's massive. Welcome to another episode of Commercial Property Roadshow. You're here with Helen Tarrant, and today we're going to talk about hotspots. Hotspots are really, really important if you know what you're looking for. So there's a couple of things with hotspots that people don't talk to you about, and one of the things is most people want you to be in a hotspot and get into a hotspot when the hotspot's happening, and you can't do that, right? You need to be in a hotspot before it becomes a hotspot, otherwise it's completely pointless, right? So this is what I want you to do. When you look for hotspots, look for three things. So these are the three things I look for. Demographic movement. Number one, demographic movement is really important. Now, why is that important? Is that because demographic movement is what guarantees more people coming into the area, therefore making sure the area gentrifies faster, more people willing to pay higher rents, and therefore that means that flows on to the fact that there's going to be more demand for commercial properties, more people want to buy local, more people want to support local businesses, and more local business moving into that area as well. And number two, infrastructure, how that impacts on commercial property, not how that impacts on residential, but how does that impact on commercial properties, right? So what does that mean? It means that it's not that they're building great for house and land packages, that they're building new roads and all of these things. No, it's not about that. It's actually about how having bypasses or having extra freeways, having a couple more lanes, or the fact that they're opening key areas where you can actually develop commercial as well as residential is going to help you, right? Because more people coming into the area, more transit population, and people don't have to be stuck in traffic for an hour and a half getting somewhere. The land is not landlocked, is going to help more people coming to the area, more people willing to pay higher rents, and therefore on-flowing effect of actually increasing the value of your commercial property. Number three, I wanted you to remember is to look for key things that's happening in the area. So is there a new hospital coming in? Is there new petrol stations, new childcare centers? Is there actually new things being built that are more about industry than actually about for residential? So we're not looking for the stuff that normally mum and dad will look for. So we're not looking at things like, for example, with house and land, oh look, there's this schools happening, there's obviously more hospitals, there's more services. We're not looking for those. If you're looking at a commercial point of view, what you're looking for is that you're looking for certain infrastructure. So has the government approved new things to happen? So for example, if you're looking at mining, has the government put a lot of things into mining? Are they updating the port? Are they bringing not only new hospitals, but are they rezoning the area? Because when they rezone the area, what happens to your tenant is that they become, they can go from your normal professional tenant to allied health medical tenants, which is going to increase the value of your property. So ultimately, what you will look for, those three things, is number one, demographic movement. Number two, that's what's happening in terms of infrastructure. Number three, key developments. And they could be that it hasn't had a medical center being built for 10 years, 20 years, and all of a sudden they've got a medical center. It could be that there is a new storage facility or a new cold storage facility is coming in to help with people who are in transportation, or potentially there's maybe a freight hub being built, a new logistic hub, something like maybe an Amazon coming into the area, or maybe something like a toll coming into the area. Those things are going to be more important when you're doing commercial, because it shows there's more commercial activities and you can track the demand of those things. Now, those things have on-flowing effects. What they will do, they have on-flowing effects for industrial, they have on-flowing effects for retail, they have on-flowing effects for office spaces. And that's why it's important, because to identify a hotspot before it booms, you have to see where the demographic is, or where it was 10 years ago, where it was 5 years ago, and where it's going to be in 2 years time, and where it's going to be in potential another 5 or 10 years time. For example, when I looked at the population data, Maitland was one of the highest, had one of the highest demographic movements in the last 2 years at 8.4% in comparison to anyone else. It was top 10 in the demographic movement, and one of the top top ones for New South Wales. Now, why is that? It's because people cannot afford Newcastle all of a sudden. Newcastle, their property prices are now 800,000-900,000. People go to Maitland, can buy something anywhere from 400,000 to 600,000, and all of a sudden that becomes affordable. But Maitland's also had the new hospital being built there. They've now have new rezoning coming into place. They're having a new shopping centre being developed. All of those things are adding to commercial activities. But also what flows on further inland from Maitland is Singleton, all around those areas. You've got Cessnock. All those areas are much, much cheaper than Newcastle, but they can access Newcastle and Newcastle services. But they also have their own mini satellite and satellite services that are happening, and also grants as well that's happening, and that is what is also bringing people into that area. So look for that, right? Is Maitland going to be the next hotspot? Maybe, maybe not, right? Where is going to be the next hotspot flowing on from somewhere like a Byron, where it's a lifestyle city, right? Where it became a lifestyle city during COVID, compared to before, where it was a holiday town, where it only boomed during the holidays. But what is it going to be the next Byron? Well, I think Tweed Head may be the next Byron, because it's got all the demographics of what Byron was 10 years ago, but it's got a lot more infrastructure coming into the area, a lot more transit population, and a lot more people who are willing to buy property there, and it has that coastal feel that Byron was 10 years ago. Now, we look at lots and lots of these triggers, and lots of these demographic movements, lots of infrastructure, but lots of changes on the ground, and lots of developments and how they affect the property prices, especially commercial, how it affects people coming into the market. And that's what makes us a leader in this market, in getting our clients ahead of the game into hotspots, because it's important when you buy a hotspot is that you're not buying one that's already boomed, but you're buying one that's about to boom, right? And on top of that, let me show you and go more in depth in that strategy session how we can do and spot more hotspots, and we can place you in a property in a hotspot that's about to boom. Because what we have seen is, in the last 2 years, areas like Bundaberg, Townsville, Cairns, and even the areas of Gympie have gone up by 30 to 40%. What we've seen in areas like even at Maitland has gone up by 20 to 30, and even somewhere like a Gold Coast and Sunshine Coast have gone up by 40% in those areas, but certain areas can, while others have not, right? And that's why you need to partner up with an expert, because capital growth and getting into the next hotspot could be your next best strategy. So until next time, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, reach out to me, HelenTarrant.com, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.